pals, to the DL Gaming Podcast. We're adding games both new and old to your backlog, one slightly inappropriate at a time. My name is Amanda, and I'm kind of obsessed with my pals. Just maybe I'd like to say a healthy amount, but maybe it's just a little too much. Joining me today is my pal Christian.
Put me in a tiny ball and call me not Pikachu, because then you'll be sued.
That's right. If you can't tell already, we're going to be talking very much about Palworld and Palworld 1.0. But first, Christian, what's new?
So a brief detour from Palworld, because, yeah, that's all we're talking about this episode. Cyberfunk. Hey,
cyber funky.
You got the funk. You've got the cyberfunk.
Put it in your arm.
Fest. Cyberpunk Fest is the next festival on Steam. Last episode, we got to thinking, what are the methodology behind Steam picking certain themed festivals on the platform? They aren't entirely random, but they are random enough where I'm like, Shark Fest? Like, where did this come from, right? And so
Sharknado Fest.
I asked Valve. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but as I was asking Valve, I was doing some research. I was going through the Reddit threads, seeing everyone's best guesses, and I ran into the developers who actually got Bullet Heaven added to Steam. And they got Bullet Heaven added to Steam via a public submission, a public poll, which had around 10,000 submissions. And with that, they went to Valve and they said, 1, we want to throw a festival called Bullet Heaven, and 2, we want you to add the tag called Bullet Heaven. And Valve said yes and yes to both of them because they brought the evidence. Their game was a Bullet Heaven game as well, and they went in with a bunch of Bullet Heaven developers. So when DLG was trying to get VSL, like, as the term, Vampire Survivors, like, added to Steam, we were trying to make that happen. These guys were hustling a bit harder. They got the grassroots movement and they actually talked to a bunch of devs, and now it's a term on Steam. And I think that's cool. And I wonder if the festivals have a little bit of a similar process where either a bunch of developers go to Steam and say, hey, we're a bunch of strategy games. We would love an RTS fest. Is that in the cards for 2027? Steam goes, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Or is it entirely on Steam's end and they just see, oh, there's like some interesting RTS games that have come out or that are up and coming. Maybe we should make a festival for them. It seems like a hot genre. Anyways, I await Steam's reply, Amanda, because I don't know how they do this.
Yeah.
Anyone can ask a question on Steam. If you go to Steam support, you can put in a question. You're not really supposed to, but they've answered a bunch of my questions before, like kind of questions like this, like theoretical questions, not like my Steam Deck is broken, please replace it, which they also do. So if you have any burning questions, you too can ask the poor people at Steam.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, I'll just go knock on their studio down in Washington. You know, I'm heading there next week, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, you know, Gabe, answer my friend. Answer the 20 people working here. Answer. So
yeah.
No, that's I can't wait to hear about that because I feel like there's a festival for everything these days, which is great and cool. But yeah, how do they do it?
Oh, wait, what's this? Sorry. You keep going. I've noticed that we have a new message from Steam support. So you keep going, and then maybe I'll loop back around now.
Oh, maybe we have a live, update. Yeah, so my news isn't as exciting, I think, as reaching out and connecting with Steam. But I was excited about it. I tried am hosting a server for the first time in my life. It's pretty easy, pretty awesome. You could also find, like, really amazing things that are all packaged together on GitHub to kind of do a lot of the groundwork and the hard work for you, which is cool, but be careful because, you don't want to download viruses or things that you shouldn't.
Get hacked.
Exactly. You're trying to get at the hub, not get hacked. Exactly. So, but I'm hosting a server for the first time, and so far I feel like it's been going really, really well. Other than my own personal pal in real life, Princess Leia, our cat, who really she wants to be part of it. She sees her people or her humans on the computer all day, and she's like, I want to be on it too. There's this laptop that we're using as the server. It's now hers, and so she keeps wanting to lay on it and has has twice now laid on the power button and
Did
has
you do
shut
that on
up.
purpose, by the way? Leia
Leia
on it?
laid
Did
on it. No,
you-
I did not, but I will take any pun I can get. But
She laid on.
she laid on it. Yeah. So she's a very busy lady who really loves to clickety clack on the keyboards. I feel that. I think you feel that. Most of us do. We enjoy our keyboards. So I get what she's doing, but it's not great for the server health. Otherwise, everything for the server is great.
It's been twice that I've been on that the cat has jumped on and shut off the server.
Yeah.
And honestly, it brings back the best memories to me. It's like at a LAN party when someone goes to take a bite of a pizza and they accidentally like nudge the router or something with their foot and everyone disconnects. You're like, that was a 7-hour Civ game. It was like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the shenanigans, we love randomness in our games, or a lot of us do. We love these roguelike games, but we've put up so much guardrails around every sort of system in our society that it's very hard to get the random spice of life that actually adds something interesting to an experience. Sorry, I'm going way metaphorical.
No,
but
yeah.
Princess Leia being on the server is like, honestly, dope. Thank you.
So
Keep
funny.
jumping on
So
it.
fun. And we tried actually changing the settings so that way like I could just close the laptop, but no, it's like every time you close the laptop, server goes down too. So it's just like, so for now it's here to stay, and there might be a random mischievous pal coming around messing with our server. And don't worry though, every time it happens, I'm going to take a picture and we'll shame her in Discord. She does not care, but it's for us. But anyway, yeah.
Well, let's circle back to our good friend Jorman at Steam Support. I'll read my message first. Hello, not totally a support issue, but I'm just wondering what goes into the selections of the various themed events on Steam, RTS Fest, Cooking Fest, etc. Are they randomly selected or chosen through genres or settings that seem to be popping off? Smiley face, thank you. Jorman. Message from Steam Support, July 30th, 1 minute ago. Hello, I understand where you're coming from. Unfortunately, we're not able to provide you with the information that you're seeking. You may want to try asking others and using their opinion in regard to this matter through the general discussion. If you have any unrelated issues, please reply here. I'll be happy to help. Jorman, wasn't really the answer I wanted, but I guess I just expected someone to give me the secret sauce.
All right, Gabe, keep your secrets.
Yeah. Jorman, if that is your real
Jorman,
name. Yeah.
keep your secrets. I'll see you on
All right,
Monday.
well.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, that'd be crazy. So, moving along to the games that we played. Spoiler, it's just Palworld. We played it a ton together.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hear, I feel like crafting survival games are probably the biggest genre that I play and dive into and lose my life to. I don't feel like it's your number one genre. So I'm curious as to like how you're taking in Palworld and your thoughts of it first.
Okay, so my overall theme with Palworld is that it made me remember that crafting survival games are too addicting. And like you, I love these games. I played so much 7 Days to Die. It hurts to look at my hours. Like I remember being on a work call, like an all hands work call in Valheim. I'm cam off building the like beautifying my base, like doing nothing super important, chopping down wood, whatever it is. And I'm thinking, this is a problem. And Rianne's behind me, home from work for the day. And she goes, are you working? Because she hears all my coworkers talking and I'm just smacking trees in Valheim. So I love these games and they have such a rewarding loop. Unlike Bobby, I love to chop down the trees. I think you put these constraints on the game, these resource constraints, and that's part of what makes it fun. Part of it is looting the world. And the most basic way you can do that, is picking up a rock or a tree. And then, of course, you go from there. You do all sorts of stuff. So, I love Palworld, but what makes it extra addicting to me is the base automation. And I kind of wanted to ask you, is this the first game to do NPC delegation to this extent, or has there been like a history of games that have done this?
I think that it's a relatively new thing. Like, I think of somebody or another game that did it really well was Bellwright. But that's also another game that has come out in like the last like 5-ish years. Like I think way back in the day, like not really, because part of it was you doing it, and that's just part of the grind of you doing that, right? And so it's, I think, a really smart pivot for crafting survival as like a genre for these games to start
Yeah.
kind of putting some of these things like, because it allows you to redirect your focus into kind of the next tier, right? So instead of sitting there chopping down all this wood, you're now sitting there like, oh well, I had to go get hardwood instead of this stupid softwood.
Emphasis on the hard.
Yeah, instead of this stupid softwood. I've moved.
Get this fucking
I've leveled
softwood.
up. I've leveled up now from the softwood. Yeah, I can send that
Get it out of my sight.
to my
Get it out of my
NPCs. Exactly. Like, but I wonder, I'm kind of curious because I feel like a lot of the automation, like one of the games that really changed the game, so to say, with automation was like Satisfactory, even though that's not, I don't know if I would call that truly crafting survival, and I haven't played a ton of Satisfactory, so can't speak on it, but I know that that was a huge like automation kind of thing of gathering resources. And
well, I'm pretty sure Palworld came out before all of those. Like I'm pretty sure Palworld came out before Satisfactory and before Bellwright.
I had to check that. I really think Satisfactory. Bellwright, I think you're right. I could see Bellwright learning from Palworld and then kind of developing it, because Bellwright's a pretty relatively new game. But I thought Satisfactory came out.
Early access launch of Palworld, January 19th, 2024. Satisfactory
was September 10th,
launch.
2024. Wow, I'll be damned. Okay. Well, the early access for Satisfactory was 2019.
Okay, so it was here 5 years before.
Yeah.
And so in Satisfactory, you have the same base NPCs that you can assign.
Sort of. I think it's like a robotic loop thing that you're kind of building.
Okay. Yeah, it's more like a Factorio game.
Yes.
I think what's unique in this is the relationship that you have with the things that you catch. It just feels a little bit more personal.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
Like when I logged off and my antler pal, I assigned to cut wood. He smashes his antlers against the wood. I came back. I have 2,000 wood. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wow, this pal is really useful. And he's level 17. And now I can level up his wood cutting. Whereas something like Satisfactory or Factorio, these are like automated assembly lines, and I've at least never been attached to anything that I've made in Factorio, like an individual piece of something. The overall system is beautiful, obviously, but like
and I could
Palworld's base automation is such a cool way to do it.
I completely agree. I feel like, and I mean, I could just be talking out of my ass about like Factorio and Satisfactory influencing crafting survival as a genre. But it's just I'm just recently, like within the last like 2 or 3 years, starting to see games that are doing what Palworld does of like, you are kind of curating how you automate your base, which is really fascinating and unique. Like in Bellwright, it's kind of like that too. You get to meet NPCs and get to know them and maybe do quests for them, and then you invite them into your settlement to kind of live with you. But to do it with Palworld, where there's already such a like society that because of probably the work that Pokemon has done, that there's a bunch of people that would love to have like this kind of creature collecting side to the game as well. Because you're right, it's super personal, and then every pal has their own strengths and kind of weaknesses, and then on top of it, they have these like passive abilities. So you want pals that are like, I think one of the passive abilities is called Work Slave, where like they don't get tired and stamina with work and they just keep working. Like Artisan is another really good one. I think like Hard Worker. So you're like trying to catch as many pals as you can of the same type, because once you get 5 of the same type, you're getting a huge XP boost and like unlocking it's an effigy, and they kind of can use it as currency in the game. And so you want to catch 5 at least of the same pal. And then you also want to do that because you might catch a pal, the first few that you catch might be total losers. If you get a pal that is a slacker, you do not want him on your base, or you don't want them on your base at all, because they're not going to work. They're going to drag all the rest of them down. And so there's like all these layers, and that's just the damn base maintenance. Like, this game has so much more to it as well, especially when you start looking at the boss fights and the boss battles and the caves and the dungeoning and the exploration and the quests. Like, they've really come a long way. Did you play Palworld when it came out in early access, or was this kind of your first time?
No, this is the first time, and I was kind of blown away by how good it was. I mean, everyone says how good the game is, and it has whatever, a gigabajillion reviews on Steam, and other than on Steam, everyone outside of Steam is also talking about how good Palworld is, like on social media. So like, I think I knew it was good, but it's still something else to experience that in person. It's just, I know it's also the 1.0 release, but everything feels so polished, right? Like all the loops feel so tight, but it still has this great sense of scale where I can go to any mountain, I can go to any meadow. There's huge carcasses of these ancient beings that litter the landscape. There's like varied and interesting terrain, sometimes with procedurally generated stuff, and I'm sure you've run into this too, but you get a lot of meh. You're like, oh, that's procedurally generated, meh.
Totally.
Congrats. Like,
yeah.
And the bases, I love visiting Scram, someone who listens to our podcast, member of our community and friend. His base, he had an awesome system going where all his pals sleep on the bottom and they kind of easily shuffle out, and then his production is on this mid-level. I thought that was clever. And the starting base that you made, you were touring me around it, and I could already tell that there's so much going on. There's almost too much going on, and I had to do it myself. So then I broke away and started making my own bases, and I've been having so much fun. I'm set up now in like this bamboo jungle area, kind of overlooking these creatures who are a little too tough for me. But, you know, if I can get one isolated and switch through all three of my pals, I can take it down, no problem. And I get these random raids on my base. So yeah, it's really fun. I don't know. They've just done a great job with this game. You've played a lot of it and you've gotten to a pretty high level. How is the boss battles that you're on? Because the first one is pretty easy, and that's a part of the game that I haven't really went down too far.
So the way that I'm approaching Palworld this time is because I feel like Palworld right now to me is like my new Ark Survival Evolved addiction, which is concerning, but also amazing. Because for context, I have put in, I think, over 1,000 hours into Ark Survival Evolved. And that has been like a through line game where like I kind of like will always go back to it. It doesn't take much for somebody to be like, hey, do you want to join? And then I had to sit there and be like, am I at a point in my life where I could just literally only do this all the time? Palworld kind of forced that in a way, because I was like, yeah, Palworld's cool. And then 1.0's out. And yeah, again, everybody was talking about it. And I was like, all right, let's just do it. And then like making a server was great. And it's fun. And we have about, I think, 6 or 7 people on the server now. And there's a few, and I'm not going to call them out, but there's a few that are totally working. But I see them, and we're going around checking out caves together. And it's very fun. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're all addicted. And so this is all a long bird walk to get to like the way that I'm approaching Palworld right now, which is just really just diving it in very slowly. Full disclosure, I've actually only done 2 boss fights. I just did the second boss fight yesterday.
And how was the second? How was it?
Unfortunately, the downside
I'm right by the tower.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm high enough level to attempt it, but that'll be like my next thing. So yeah, spoil it for me. What's going on?
I will say that, well, the downside to playing it the way that like I'm playing it, which is basically I spent the first like 30 levels gaining those levels just by eating edibles, getting high, and flying around on a pal and just exploring. And that's it. So I've explored so much of the map in the air and then didn't play like anything. So all of the quests, I'm I'm like level 55 or some shit, but I'm like in content wise, I'm still in like the level 20 zone. And which is it's been fun.
But now you're too powerful
and
for
now
everyone.
I'm super so I'm going to say that second boss fight was pretty fucking easy. But what I love about the boss fights, and I think they're so cool, is like especially the second one, they set it up to where the quests are a lot better this time around compared to early access. They definitely feel like they are more fleshed out, the quests, and I think that was a huge improvement from early access to 1.0. And they guide you to the tower in a really cool quest as well that I really enjoyed the story to lead up to the second boss. And then I love that they do this where when you go to fight a boss, there's like this whole cutscene of like the boss being like badass and they're like, I'm gonna fuck you up, kind of is like the vibe that they do with this whole cinematic cutscene. And which made it extra funny when I pretty much was just like, bleh, and the boss died because I'm way too high level for it. And I went in with another person, so there was two of us. And like the person I went with, shout out to Abs, like she was the appropriate level for the boss. And then I was just like a super high level. Because again, the thing that is cool about this freedom of movement, like you were talking about, is that you could be playing it like I am, where I'm trying to explore and unlock everything before I even dive into a lot of the stuff of the game. But what ends up happening is I find a pal that I'm like, that thing is cool and I want it. And I will just like relentlessly go after it until I get it. But then I have these like crazy high level pals that have to like level scale down. Like this happened the other day. I'm so excited. Like this happened like yesterday and I'm like so excited about this pal because I had no idea this thing fucking existed. And like I said, I think I've put in like 30 or 40 hours at this point in Palworld 1.0 and mostly exploring and looking at everything, looking at all the creatures, like finding out about all of them. I have a stupid amount of pals. And
you're bringing your real life, how many natural parks have you been to?
Oh,
National
yeah,
parks
lots of them. Yeah.
Like how many?
I love to explore.
Like
oh God,
40,
how
50?
many? Yeah. Oh, dude, easily 50 to. Yeah, like I've been to most
and
parks,
how many places have you lived in? Like you're playing Palworld, like you play real life.
You know what? That's very accurate. Yeah. Yeah. But in real life, I really wish that I had this, which was like, so yesterday I was exploring a whole new biome that I've never been to. And I was like, this is really cool. And I looked down and by these huge like whale bones was this and again, I'm flying, so I'm like way up. All the little pals should look like tiny little dots, and I just see this massive fucking serpent in the water that looks like Gyarados, the Pokemon Gyarados, looks just like him. And I'm like, what is that? I've never seen, because I've been waiting for it. I'm like, okay, there's so much water. Well, there's so much water in this game that I'm just like, maybe I played too much Dune Awakening and I'm like, where's the fucking worm?
Or Subnautica.
Right? Or Subnautica. And I'm like, where is the big creature? And then I found it. And I don't even think it's the biggest creature, but it's massive. And its name is, what is it? Fuck, I'm going to butcher his name. His name is Jormuntide. Jormuntide. That's his name. And
they even started it with a G.
No, it's a J. It's a J. All right.
It's a J. Somehow that's worse.
I know. Right. And so this guy is massive. And I'm like, okay, well, I have so many of these, like whatever the pal balls that I have. There's so many of them, but I don't have a lot of like the high level ones. And so I'm like, all right. And I just am like swooping down, and because my method with trying to catch a lot of these pals, I think you're going about it in the very correct way. And I'm cheesing it because I will go up to a pal, not even hit them. And I'm just trying to just launch balls at them until they have no other chance but to just get in there.
Your quantity over quality, and you're wearing them down because every time you throw a ball, there's a percent chance. And even if it's 5%, 5 out of 100 times.
So that's what I had. So I'm calling him Jude. That's what I'm calling this guy. That is Jude, and I'm naming him after Jude Bellingham because
With
of
a G?
course, no, with a J. Like Hey Jude, Beatles, Hey Jude,
Jay.
and I want to be able
I
to
should've
sing
known.
Hey Jude, to my Jormitude, but like Jorman and Tide, whatever the fuck his real name is. But anyway, it's Jude. It's Jude to me because just like Jude Bellingham, this guy is a bro. He's super skilled. He's great. He's emperor of
Who
the
is
seas.
Jude Bellingham?
Dude, he's a really famous like football player, soccer for the some people. That's part of well, now I think he works for Real Madrid, but he was in the World Cup, playing for England, and brand new fan, so I don't know shit, right? But like he's great.
You're just all of a sudden this huge cupper.
No,
You're like,
I'm not this
the
huge
80s,
cupper, but
Jude Bellingham.
dude, the World Cup consumed this household the entire time. We literally watched every single match, and all of my algorithm is Holland and Jude Bellingham. That's all it is. So Jude or Jomantide is fast. He's swift. He's a good bro. He's got very good passive abilities. He was very nice. I'm like, this is Jude. Yeah, this is Jude Bellingham. And so anyway, I had a 0.03% chance of catching him. But I tell you what, the amount of times that I get success is certainly more than 0.03%, man. I got him on the second ball. I was like, yo.
What?
Yeah.
Were you recording?
No. I need to start recording.
Mistake.
I know. But he's so great.
Steam automatically does it for you. There's no excuse.
Damn. What? I gotta find that.
And you could just take a clip right there.
Yeah. Take that clip. Yeah. I just should have. Yeah. And so to me, the answer to all of these pals is just more balls. Just get more balls. Like have more balls. Shoot it. Just shoot your shot. Shotgun it. Just keep going. The numbers. That's all you need. You got the.
You're cheesing the shit out of this game. You're fucking.
Yeah, that's.
I knew the second you came by when I joined the server, you were on the bird thing, and you came down from the skies, all angel-like, and I was like, there's this fucking archead. There's no way.
Well, okay.
There's no way.
So in my defense, like my all-time favorite thing that I loved doing in Ark, and I love flying. Like I love flying. I love being high. Like and pun intended, that together they're great. But I mean, like when I think of like a lot of the national parks and places I've been to, I'm totally somebody that would like love to skydive all the time. I want to climb mountains and be up high. I love heights. So like it translates in video games as well. So to me, it was like the first goal I had when I was in Palworld, besides getting a base, was to fly. So like I put everything into like getting my flyer, and like now it's so much fun because I've explored a bunch of stuff, and I feel a little creepy about it, truthfully. Like I can just get on my map, and everybody that joins in the guild, you can see where they are in the map, and I'll just look and I'll be like, oh, what's Abs doing? Oh, what's Scram doing? And then I'll just pop up like near him, and I'll be like, hey, what you doing? Can I join? And maybe that's creepy as fuck and like uninvited, but like At least with Abs, like she loves it. It's funny because she'll just be like, "Oh, hello, yeah, let's go do this," and it's so special for me because, yeah, sure, like I'm high level and like I have a really bitchin' base that I'm proud of, that I've put a lot of time into. I've built this like castle basically of this full functioning. It's like because like I love catching these pals. I'll be like 2%, yeah, right. I'll just keep spamming them until they're mine, and then I put them in the base, and I have high level pals working on stuff. So everything is kind of like smooth, but what's so much fun is to go back and to like kind of do it like all day today. When I was playing, me and Abs were doing everything on foot and with glider. Like I purposely did not use any of my pals for movement at all, and I'm like, because I haven't been able to, or I've been choosing, I guess, not to explore it from the point of view of over my shoulder of the character. And I'm like, this is really fun, and even though she's got flyers, she's still choosing to like run around and explore everything. And I'm like, I kind of love that. And it's a totally different way of playing than how I've been playing the last like 30 levels. But I love it. It's fun. And then you're right. When there's a raid coming, it notifies us, and it could be any of our bases in the guild. So there's been times where I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's been times that I've been playing and there's like a raid's coming, and I'll check on the map to see who is actually it's happening to. And I try my best to pop in and help people defend no matter what. Because sometimes it's rough. Like there's one that came came for Scram, where I was like, bro, almost every single one of my pals was killed. This was a tough raid. Like, and so it's just fun to kind of hop in and help out that way and stuff too. But also, I always have a blast. I think it's the funniest thing that they send a negotiator before a raid to your base. Have you seen that person or talked to them?
Yeah. And she wants like 500 gold. I'm like,
they'll increase it. Like I've seen it as high as $5,000. And you know what I do? Every time they pop on the base when I'm around, I kill them right away because I don't negotiate with terrorists and I'm going to kill them.
Wow. That's like a wartime, you know, I think the NATO, the UN, world organizations frown upon the killing of negotiators.
Well, they also in the game frown upon capturing people as well, but you easily can do that when you're fighting the it's like the people with the purple eyes and they're like the bounty hunters.
You're on another level. You're playing this game. I think so. You did mention the quests, how the quests have gotten better, and I do like doing the side quests. You talk to the people. And they all have like a specific angle, like, oh, these people are hanging out around these grass Pokemon and they want to make some food. That's like one of the beginning quests. It really makes me want to, by the way, I love this game. It makes me want to play a game on Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to walk around because that has a serious story. Not that Palworld story isn't actually that serious, but I guess Avatar: The Last Airbender has the depth of the story, and you can interact with all these different elements in cool ways. You know, like blood bending and
oh yeah,
metal bending if you're an earthbender. And so I'm like, that's the game I really want to play. I'm having a blast with Palworld, but that would be bought in a millisecond. And
totally.
I'm going to talk about it a bit later in the show. The people in Palworld are making another game based on the Palworld world. I think don't poke the bear of Nintendo. Don't keep doing this if you don't have to. License the Last Airbender game. Make a great Avatar game and do us all a favor because you have these awesome crafting survival systems that would seemingly work perfectly in that sort of game.
I would agree.
So,
yeah, I would agree with that, actually. I think that if the devs and if the people of Palworld switched gears and got their hands on Avatar: The Last Airbender, it'd be crazy. Because there is I guess like a vibe or like a feeling that does remind me of Avatar: The Last Airbender when I'm playing, especially when you're gliding and some of the mechanisms of there's like these spots at the base of mountains, at the base of these really large jumps, and it's so that way you launch a super high jump. But it reminds me so much of like Aang and how he's messing with air bending and flying and launching up, and it feels so much like that I think that would just be
there's also
so cool.
A physicality to the powers of your Palomon. Are they just called pals?
I think they're just your pals. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you have an attack that does extra damage versus a certain type of pal, or you have like this sort of Dark Souls type abilities that you have to like run and dodge or jump out of the way, that all translates really well to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Anyways,
but
I know we're talking about Palworld, but
I really love running around with an AK-47 dude and shooting pals with pals.
You're right.
It's pretty cool.
That's not in
an Avatar. You don't have guns in Avatar. It's cool. I do like the
guns are so ridiculous, by the way. Like whoever had the idea to add guns, there must have been some sort of design meeting where it's like, yeah, Pokemon, crafting survival, and then some guy's like, okay, what if they have guns? And it's like, it's such a cool marketing thing because to see like a fucking Pikachu with an AK-47.
Oh yeah, like... because you craft saddles and like you can have your pals equipped with guns and they're also shooting them. But I feel like in a way that's almost unnecessary. The game feels a bit easy, and I'll say that the server setting is just set on normal. Could have made it harder, of course, but I just wanted us to have
fun. The game
fun.
Feels easy?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you're flying around 50 levels it feels so easy.
I will say, I have absolutely died. What's cool is like there are, without spoiling too much, there are different regions where you're not able to ride or maneuver in a way that is the way that I play. So there are entire regions.
Anti-cheese regions.
Kind of. There's regions in the game that like I can't get to yet because I can't do it. Like I try and get in there and it's like I'm almost getting one shot KO'd. So maybe I'm sitting there being like it's too easy, but in reality it's just that like I'm not playing it the correct way. But it's so much fun, and the quests, at least the ones that I've been doing recently, they start to get deeper, by the way, because you had made a mention that like the quests aren't really super deep or serious yet, but there's one that I just completed that was pretty serious where I was like, damn, that's a pretty good philosophical conundrum that like makes you think. And so like maybe, we'll be getting there.
Yeah, I mean the whole game makes you think, like, is it ethical to catch a pal and make them chop wood and love you? And it doesn't seem like.
And it changes. It kind of builds, right? Because I feel like in the beginning when I was playing this, I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. Like I'm catching these pals and I'm working with them. Like I'll launch a pal that can mine, but I'm mining right there with them. And then I get this big fucking scorpion looking guy named Misting. And then I'm like, you know what? You are going to mine that. And like, I'm just going to stand here and you're going to mine it and you're going to work. And so it's like, it changes. Yeah. Like you change with it as they get stronger and more specialized.
I felt bad when I started capturing pals that already have tools. Like there's these frog guys that have little spears. And if you read their description, they're like, oh, we are a tribal entity, and it had a little history, and like they have a leader and how the leader is chosen and everything. I was like, well, this feels not great.
Yeah.
like maybe I'll let all the frog guys go. They're like, how we can't eat dolphins anymore. Or octopus. Yeah. A lot of people are like they're too.
I struggle
like
with
cusp
eating
of intelligence that's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like what I'm at in Palworld with the pals that have tools. I'm like, okay, I think.
So, okay.
Like
so for you, it's the tools. That's because that's the sign
for me,
of
it's the tools because it's a sign of intelligence. Like when you go to a zoo and the gorilla puts his hand on the glass and it looks exactly like your hand, and you're like, oh, I don't know if you should actually be in here, right? Like, I don't know if this is the most ethical thing that's ever happened in the world. You're clearly a lot more like us than a bunch of other types of animals. And this feels weird now. Yeah. Like I see on your fingerprints, or I see the fingerprints on your hands. Like you have unique fingerprints. Not so great.
That's interesting. You're kind of like more of a lawfully good player, and I feel like I'm more of a, maybe it's chaotic evil. I don't know, because I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, catch them all. Catch them all. Catch the people, too.
I mean, it's just a game at the end of the day, right? It's just a game at the end of the day. But if you're taking the quest seriously and you're taking the world seriously, these questions come up.
Yeah. I think. And they actually get explored in the quest lines, too. They explore that. And so it's really fascinating.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Okay.
Very, very cool.
I wonder if they do it justice. Maybe they do.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you want to play Palworld with other friendly people, Amanda's server, you can enjoy the cat with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Come to dlg.net, click Discord. The server information is under gaming, and I think hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah,
right?
Hope so. No, it's been really fun. Everybody's been really chill and really cool. Like there has been people coming together to help each other out, especially like I said with those raids. But for the most part, like everybody's kind of like doing their own thing and enjoying about it, and just kind of popping in chat when they want to. So I mean, there's no like forced, like, we're a community, you have to come join. There's plenty of people that are just like doing their own thing on the server, and that's cool too.
Well, I knew when you were touring me around the base, like the first base, you were like, this is the base, you can contribute to it. I was going, the aesthetics of this, I play this game for a different reason, and that's to make things beautiful and usually not that functional. And your base was too functional. I was like, no.
Are you saying my base was ugly? It's because I needed paint.
Yeah.
Right? Because you painted your base, I think, right? I saw that you painted it. Yeah. Yeah, I went around and I was like, what the hell is it? He got green roofs and white roofs.
So fucking like, ugly too. Like I tried to make it the biggest eyesore, and I couldn't paint my defenses. I was
okay. So
disappointed. I was like,
you looked at my base and went, "Oh, it's too ugly. I'm gonna make an ugly base."
yeah.
Okay.
But the thing about my ugly base with the ugly paint is it was still miles ahead. I'm sorry. Your base was. I gotta say, I was walking around. I was like, the mine that you built was not beside any rocks. The trees. I was like, what? This isn't believable to me as a tourer of your base.
That's true. But where was this feedback when I was touring your base? You were like, "Wow, this is lovely. Wow, this is great."
Well, it's awkward. It's just awkward when someone first to be like, "Oh, well, I think your base."
Yeah.
I have to keep my opinions for this podcast, Amanda. It's a safe space.
Okay.
Dialogue
fair
between
enough,
me and
fair
you.
enough. Okay, yeah, I'll make sure to judge your next base very harshly, but only on the podcast, and I'll just bring it up in my what's
Yes.
new. Be like, what's
not
new?
in person.
I
That's
checked
awkward.
out Christian's base. So ugly. He had maple trees and a bamboo forest. What is he doing? Like,
Yeah. That is true. Actually, that base does stick out a little bit like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But I still think it's beautiful. Anyways, different tastes, different pals for different folks,
That's true.
different strokes for different pals.
Well, that's the beauty of it, is that we're all able to have our own bases, and that's what makes it fun. And so love that.
Yes.
But I guess
I have notes on Scram's base too, but he's not on the podcast, so I'll keep them to myself.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. We just found.
Remember when I said how functional it was? Yeah.
Yeah. So similar things. Yeah. Yeah. His base is super fascinating, though. It was really, really cool. I like that. Like basically
it was
one
awesome.
half of it. It's almost like it reminds me of like a deconstructed sandwich where like you can see everything, which is really cool.
Totally.
Or like the doll houses that you would see. So you see like only one side, but you can see into everything.
Did
which
he
is
build
cool.
it over water?
I think he did.
He-
Yes.
Yeah, which is such a cool idea.
And actually, he built it in a really pivotal and important area for a lot of the questing. So like it's really smart. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but it was very smart that he built it right there where he did.
Well, yeah, I teleported to his base to do a bunch of stuff in the area. And then I tried to make my base equally in a good spot. I don't know if I succeeded or not, but I do like how, because we have this guild and everyone has their own bases, we can do a lot more fast travel and just get around quicker. It feels like to me, at least.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, that was a server setting that, because I tried really hard to make this game as close to vanilla as it is. We all wanted to check out 1.0 and how it is. It's weird to load up a bunch of mods. And so like there's no mods on this. It's PvE. The only things that I've changed is I've made it so that way we can use each other's bases in the guild for fast travel, because I figured that would be awesome. And then the other thing is that I increased the base limit for our guild from 10 to 100. So then everybody can have their own bases. Because I feel like that's super important, and it's really cool to check out other people's bases, especially if we're not trying to build our bases right next to each other, because then that obviously helps with the transporting and everything too. But super cool. Yep. I just literally ran into Cricket Soldier's base yesterday, and it's just, you would love it, Christian. All it is just like 200 tiles of rock foundation, and like that's it.
This fucking, and see, I knew there was going to be something like that. It's just, like, what is the most functional form I could build?
It's just a floor.
And that is going to be a Cricket Soldier base.
Yeah.
Just a floor.
But I love the range, right? Like, because there's people that are building bases kind of like you, of kind of committing to an aesthetic and the way, and like a design, right? And then I'd like to believe I'm a little bit more in the middle. I dance the line between functional and aesthetics. I want like a cute little bar. I want like I built this entire like desk office area that overlooks the mountain and the tree, and I have like a little cool. Tea table and seats so that way we could drink tea and talk. Like I'm putting some of that in, but then you're right, then like a whole bunch of it is just literally like boom 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 boom, this is the production line. Like, but it's very cool. So that's, I would say, enough of Palworld, but guess what? Christian, what do you want to play? More Palworld stuff?
Well, so I was intrigued when I was looking at what else these guys were doing now that 1.0 has come. it begs the question, what's next? I obviously am pitching them to do Avatar Last Airbender game. They have a different idea. They're doing Palworld, Palfarm, which is an isometric Stardew Valley-like farming sim, but in the wacky world of Palworld. It looks like a far more relaxed version of the game. There's romance. It seems very peaceful. You're building your plots. You're assigning your pals to do a lot of farming tasks. There's still some adventure and combat, it looks like, but they have that in Stardew Valley too. So what I would like with this game is they put a really interesting twist on crafting survivals with the base automation. And I would like to see something equally creative in farming sims. I would be disappointed if this was just like kind of like a one-to-one Stardew Valley type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited, and I don't think it will be, right? I think they've clearly shown that they like this spin of Palworld. So I'm wondering what the Palworld thing is going to be about this. And I don't want it to be as simple as like you assign your pals to do some of the farming. Like I don't think that that's what they're going to do. Like I'm expecting something a little bit more creative. So that's coming, Palworld, Palfarm, and it has piqued my interest. And by the way, the team that made this game has such a success story, and they're championed by like the greatest community manager of all time, who's very active and open to sharing like their journey. They getting sued and getting all this viral attention.
Yeah. It's crazy because it was like Nintendo was suing them and trying to go off of the basis of like they were the ones that like trademarked putting a creature in a ball. I think that was a lot of the angle was that they were focusing on the Pokeball part, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and it's just wild. I mean, you got to be careful. If you sneeze Pokemon, it's like sue, sue, sue,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these pals are like very clearly two Pokemon.
I mean, Jude is Gyarados. Yeah. Like, I do see that. Yeah.
Jude. Yeah. But the creature in a ball thing seems pretty unfair. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. It just seems a bit, yeah. I wouldn't have expected that, I guess.
Like, I felt like that was the weird angle that they were focusing on the Pokeball instead of the fact that, like, my Cativa looks exactly like a Meowth. Yeah, like a pink Meowth. Yeah. But who knows?
Anyways,
I don't know.
Yeah. So, a really cool success story, and wish these guys nothing but the best. Really excited about this next Palworld game.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm curious to see what they do as well, because I just think that like they're onto something really good here, even though like it kind of feels like taking something that's been around for so long and kind of revamping it in a way. But I do feel like there's a space for that in gaming and in the world. Like you get to a point where nothing's original, right? So like it's cool when they make it successful and still unique in its own thing. And I think Palworld shows how successful that is in going that route. You had mentioned earlier about talking about gorillas in a zoo. And so I'm really curious, how many dudes do you think it would take to take down that gorilla? That's so random, but
in
like say you're in an arena,
so
right? And
so you know how in ancient battles, when tens of thousands of people are on the field, that usually a very small percentage of them actually died. The real victory was a moral victory or a rout or a grand panic. And that is what I think the gorilla has over the humans. Like if we are going to the death in an arena, then maybe it's different, but the gorilla is still terrifying and can rip apart people. 1-to-1 strength, I think about 10 dudes could probably take a gorilla, but the gorilla has the morale factor. So I think it's probably going to be more like 100.
Well, there's a way you can test it out. The game I put on my radar is called How Many Dudes? And it's like this strategy roguelike 2D deck builder is what they call it. But basically, you're kind of building your deck of dudes, and then you're having them fight it out in an arena-like thing that reminds... It looks like chaos. It looks like chaos in a very similar way that a vampire survival game does. One could call it a VSL. You know, that's what it reminds me of. But it's a 2D game where basically you put together your team of dudes, and they literally call it like there's like manager dude, cool dude, like all these dudes. Okay. And you put them together. You got your dudes, and you can have them battle different things. It could be like they're fighting a horse-sized duck. They said that it could be 1,000 toddlers. It could be a gorilla. And really the question is, how many dudes does it take to take him down? It's super gory. It reminds me of something like Binding of Isaac, but like a battler that is based off of like a deck that you're building of dudes. So super interesting game.
This is such a good idea,
right?
Based on this age-old question, like where we are at with internet culture, and then to make this into like a game that's also in a super hot space right now, or a genre that's in a super hot space right now with these VSLs, these bullet-heavy games.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'm impressed. Like,
it seems super gory and super fun. So I really want to check it out. How Many Dudes? So far, it's rated positive. It literally came out today while we're recording. Like, came out today. Oh, nice. Brand new game. Cool. Super sweet. Check it out, especially if you like roguelike games and kind of strategy in the sense where you're like, how many dudes would it take to take down a gorilla? You can find out. And so, yeah. But
dude, I love this review, by the way. Daddy Senpai says, I also work for the studio, but I played the game nearly 40 hours a week. I emphasize play because it hasn't been work at all. This has been by far one of the stickiest games I've ever played, and I played RuneScape as a kid. It still calls my name, but I would rather put RS down, pick up HMD any day of the week. Absolutely magnificent music. Sound effects will leave you giggling. Team comps, so freaking many. You'll have near unlimited replay value even after 100% completion of the game. 1,200 hours, 1,270 hours in this
Holy
game.
Shit. But really, he didn't ask me that. So they say how many dudes, but really the question I have is, will it RuneScape? Can I launch a whole bunch of dudes at a horse-sized duck while I'm also mining in RuneScape?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, this is a viral question. How many dudes? I feel like you need to make a game called Will It RuneScape? Some sort of twist.
Yeah, right. How much can you multitask and still do a decent job before it turns to shit? That is the Will It RuneScape. But all right.
Hey, that's a decent... Okay.
It's a decent pitch. We're working on it.
Some real good ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Should we do it now?
Let me get high and fly around the world a little bit longer and and then think about it. But all right, I think that's a show. So, Christian, what's our community up to?
So, we have some questions from Discord. JBeckQuest asks, "What's a weird talent or hobby you tried to get into, but it didn't stick?" Amanda?
I can only think of a weird hobby, and I don't know if it's going to get picked up on the mic or if I can even do it. But I was able to do this, this thing with my mouth, which all the listeners are like, but it's like, can you hear it? I don't know. I don't know if that worked.
What is it, bubbles?
It's like, it sounds like bubbles. Yeah, it makes me think of the octopus if you were to rip the like tentacles off, and it's like, I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, I can make, maybe this will come up. I can.
Oh, nice. So
it sound like a water
weird
drop. So we both have water skills.
Weird talents with our mouths that didn't go anywhere. Well, maybe. I mean, we're talking on a podcast. I guess I don't know. But
honestly, I think it did kind of stick. It's one of the first things I do when I meet a new person. I'm like, "Oh, is it raining?"
Oh, that's pretty great.
But something that I recently tried was Toastmasters. That's where you go, and a bunch of office people, and they're practicing their boardroom skills, but it's basically like stand up for adults. Super fun. They just give you a random topic and you talk about it. They play little games. They do presentations. There's also like these weird sort of formalities with it that aren't like drop-in improv, where it's like you have to address everyone as a toastmaster, and when you get up on the table you have to say hello fellow toastmasters, and anyways, so I didn't stick. I might go back next year. They run it every four months in a row. I think it's kind of weird. Like everyone there is pretty eccentric, I would say.
Okay.
Because it's not improv. It's like office people improv.
It sounds like you're role playing corporate. Is that accurate?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, you're meant to be very conversational,
Okay.
but it is like presentation. Like you are practicing your presentation and group speaking skills for sure. But it's not like you're going over the numbers. Like what can I pull a story out of my butt that I remember? This one guy was talking about his favorite food, and he was like, it was a cold night in Devon, Alberta. His name, by the way, was also Devon. It was a cold night in Devon, Alberta. Devon from Devon. Devon from Devon walked into and I'm going to butcher it. He told such a cool story, but he's describing like the pasta in this pot that sort of is like boiling over and frothing at the mouth, and the cold wind shutting the door behind him, and the remnants of the breeze flowing in and interacting with the pasta pot, and all this, sort of vapor happening, and him going down, putting the tomato sauce on it, and he just told a really cool story about his favorite food, which was pasta, in pretty creative way. So that's kind of what it's like.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay, that is cool. Yeah, but I don't know. It sounds like that might be sticking, especially if you're going to go back. Yeah, it might be sticking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They also have these little notepads, and then they rate you on your story, and then individually you go through people's feedback. So it's not like, someone can just be like, they sucked. And you're like, who said that about me? Like it's meant to be
really constructive,
like a safe space to practice your skills. So
cool.
There's that part of it too, which is kind of nice. You don't get that at improv, or at least the improv I've been to.
No. And I've seen some similar things of just like kind of presenting your stuff and then having feedback that's like actually thorough feedback for like writers circles or people. Yeah, especially with writing or poetry, but that's cool for public speaking. Nice. I hope that sticks. I think a more serious answer that I have that of a hobby that I tried or talent but didn't stick is, as you know, freestyle rapping. I don't think it's stuck because I haven't. No, I haven't.
Hasn't stuck?
No, I haven't really rapped in a while.
So
I was
good
a
at it.
SoundCloud. Yeah, there's so many SoundCloud rappers out there that are also good that it doesn't go anywhere, But in another world, yeah, I could have been a rapper, but instead here I am. Just
our lives are long and the journey is not yet done.
That's true.
Right? Workonius asks, I'm getting phone calls from Brazil, and it turns out they know a lot about us. Fuck yeah, they do. Not sure why they want to know my social insurance number. What's up with that? Have you checked your browser extensions, or have you talked to Taylor recently? Because I hear he's at fault. That's what I hear. I would never say that if... Yeah.
Also, start being careful on your Steam, Steam, then they're starting to get a little bolder on Steam, I think. You remember when that it was the Sand game, because Sand actually came out recently. I think that's another extraction shooter crafting game.
Something.
And that one like got hacked, and tons of people got affected with that. And that was crazy because I don't usually see a lot of scamming stuff going on with Steam. Just recently I had somebody like reach out on Steam that was like, hey, can you click on this link and like vote for me so that way what I made like wins. I'm in a competition. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds normal. But then the link was like kind of weird, and I was like, okay, well, I'll look into it a little bit later because I was playing Palworld and I'm like, I'm busy. And then the person started being like, hey, can you check it out now? The voting's ending. The voting's gonna end soon. And then I was like, when does it end? And they didn't say anything. And so then I like looked into this competition, couldn't find anything online about it. Then I found a website that was like, is this URL a scam? And I put in that URL and it was like high chance of a scam. And I was like, oh, you almost got me, brother.
Oh, that's
crazy.
diabolical.
That's crazy.
So I haven't got the poll one before, but because I work in games, I think they may tailor it a little bit to who they're reaching out to. I've had so many people reach out over Discord and a couple on Steam being like, hey, I have this game. I've been working on it for this amount of time. Would you mind checking it out and giving me some feedback? I would really want to send it to a publisher one day. And in person, like at the local Calgary indie developers, of course I would do that.
Yeah.
That's like the least I can do for people who have this dream. And I think I've gotten it like 7 times now where I'm like this, like they know, like they're after me maybe. Like I'm on a target list or something, and maybe a lot of people are, and so they send these bots after us. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's
wild.
And I bet they probably from Brazil. That's
yeah, and what they want is your social insurance number or your your social security number. That's what they want. Yep.
Yeah, Workonius, you could probably give it to them. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
No,
so from
of course
YouTube,
not.
Ron Wen Grayling 7935. For me, watching it again, the 3D elements bring the corporate, I think you try to say, but it says cooperate here. Corporate cookie cutter image where all viewpoints are concise and universal to corporal control and brainwashing. Clean, geometrical, bland, and just doesn't fit right. The mediocre, bland life we are forced to sit through to get to the sustenance to live and explore ourselves. In the sense where every character is told differently, their own version of the truth, their own experience of reality, unbound from the cookie cutter. There are not small changes in between. They are massive. Look at how everybody sees themselves physically and how they handle themselves when moving and fighting skills vary. Can you imagine how differently your friend experienced the same event as you, yet the story and emotion conveyed in verbal form sounds so similar? Same event as you, yet the story and emotion, I'm repeating myself, masterpiece in human psychology, or I need to clean my bong.
Maybe clean the bong. Yeah.
I didn't read to the end of that
was
before.
Wild.
That's so.
That was a wild comment. I thought that was a comment that was on like one of Bobby's old. It was on an old video. I think a new comment on an old video. Fascinating
That's
though.
So funny.
But they bring up an interesting point. On the Dead Space one,
bro. Yeah, the Dead Space aftermath, which they had every not every scene. The movie was contributed to by different artists who all did it in a substantially different style. So you're watching it and all of a sudden it'll be 3D, then it'll be like 2D with a lot of gore, like the old He-Man stuff. Then it'll be 2D, really cartoony, which is a super cool thing to do. But this guy, my vote is he needs to clean his bong. That's
my vote is he brings up. I really love can you imagine how differently your friend experienced the same event as you, yet the story and emotion conveyed in verbal form sounds so similar. That is cool. Like, because that makes me think of like,
cool.
Even when we're gaming, how people talk about the same like boss event or things like that, right? And we all bring our own bias and our own storytelling methods to things, which could probably alter the way that it's perceived, right? When you're telling the same story. So that's cool. But they definitely need to clean their bong. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, one time I put Tang. Is Tang the orange drink?
Yeah.
What's the orange drink?
Tang.
So I put Tang in the bong for it was a couple months, and it tasted really good.
Yeah. Well, until it didn't, right?
No. Like the smoke was like infused with Tang. And then one time I took a small sip and it was so black and I was like, oh God, this has been filtering. This is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
You drank your Tang bong juice?
Once upon a time, yeah, I was a bit cooler than I am now, and I drank my Tang.
That sounds like a hobby that didn't stick. That's good.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Indie Former says very kind words about the Scorch Pot. The dragon will be pleased. He. Publisher here, and that's followed by a comment that says Scorch Pot dev here. You've made my day. Thank you. So I listened back to the Feed the Scorch Pot segment, which was the game I talked about last week. And in my head, I was so animated and talking so quickly, and because I really love this game. And I guess I just forgot that I was actually feeling so sick that when I listened back to it, I was like, oh, I don't sound that excited about this game. So nevertheless, these people who are working on the game probably very hard left these kind comments and found the video somehow. So, you know, it's another week. It's still not too late for you to go to Feed the Scorch Pot on Steam and add it to your wish list if you like Catan and Numbers Go Up games. It's just a perfect amalgamation of both those things.
Yeah.
So
I hope
yes.
last week we were able to convey how much we both loved the games that we presented and brought, because I still
I think you did great.
I still can't stop thinking about Desktop Explorer. There's not a game like that.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing, and it's so special that like Scorchpot devs and the publisher like reached out as well and like caught it wind of you talking about it. And so I thought
this is the cool
fun.
things about what we do.
Mhm.
Like, this is my dream, that we can spotlight games that are truly great, but don't have the publishing or marketing or just the luck to get noticed by a lot of people. And there's also a time limit on this too. Like, if a game gets discovered in 3 years, you know, how is the person paying their mortgage for those 3 years,
Absolutely.
right? Like, it kind of has to happen ish quick, right? For someone to stay in game dev. So anyways, that's my dream of this podcast, and I'm definitely touched by those comments. Amanda, who are we shouting out this week?
We are going to be shouting out our executive producer, Truthbringer, every time, always bringing it. And you are in Palworld as well as one of Christian's pals. I don't think you mentioned it, but he has made most people in the community in our Discord into a pal. So, you know,
Yes.
this, you know, if they're getting
Guess
depressed,
the type of pal you
yeah,
are.
that will be fun. You should guess the kind of pal you are or who you are. That'd be great. So yeah, that was a show. Nothing to plug other than, I guess, check out the Discord, because then you can come join the server and come join us on Palworld if you're interested in that. But my name's Amanda, and joining me today was Christian. Tune in next week because we're running it back. And if you're asking what does that mean, well, listen next week to find out. Christian, what's playing us out this week?
It's the main theme, or at least a popular theme, from Palworld. Goodbye.
Bye.